God, I hope these people don't have kids of their own. Alright, let's get right into it. Let's roast the critics who hated The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie. Rotten Tomatoes shows us the audiences gave it 88% and the critics gave it 86%. Charles Solomon from Film Week, KPCC, NPR Los Angeles, says, "The worst thing about it is that it's crashingly unfunny." Well, Charles, it's not our fault you spent your Saturday mornings watching C-SPAN. And the weird thing about this one is he's an animation historian. He should be the first in line applauding this movie, if not for the story, for the 2D animation that this is trying to resurrect. And not only that, but it's trying to resurrect wacky cartoons. And not in this modern 21st century aesthetic. Yeah, there's iPhones and modern technology in this, but it doesn't run the game. The whole focus on the movie is on the main characters. Now look, I didn't love it because I'm 40-something. I don't think I have to explain any further. But I love what it represents, and honestly, I love the way it looks. If I mentally check out because I can't do any more flattened pancakes on the street or anything like that, my eyes are being treated to a visual treat. Something that I haven't seen on the big screen probably since The Iron Giant. So yes, I recognize that this isn't made for me, but I want studios to go back to this form of animation. Not only is it dazzling and beautiful to look at, and the artists could get so creative with the colors, our eyes have been trained for the last 25 years to only appreciate 3D generated art. And to go back to that 2D animation aesthetic, that is something that I wish we could see a lot more of. And as far as it being funny or not, that's completely subjective. You either love the Looney Tunes or you don't. Their comedy works for you or it doesn't. Now, I didn't laugh out loud, but I did chuckle a time or two. I chuckled in the exact same way I did on Saturday mornings eating my Fruity Pebbles watching Looney Tunes. I appreciate the jokes. I appreciate the running off a cliff and then falling 5 seconds later. I appreciate the spinning feet and the dust clouds kicking up. And this movie had all of that, and it was just a treat to see it all brought back. If Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd made you laugh as a kid, then this will too. And it's not one of those animated movies to where, as a parent, you have to sit in the back with your kids so that you could play Royal Match on your phone. It's got some fun treats in there. It's got some very adult humor, which definitely crosses the line. If you're raising your kids right, there's no way your kids are going to pick up on it. And there were a couple of twists that I just didn't see coming in a Looney Tunes movie. Rich Klein from Shadows on the Wall says, "While the Looney Tunes feature overflows with loopy mayhem, it also feels very random." Have you seen Looney Tunes? That's as random as it gets. 1 minute, Bugs Bunny has his ass planted in a recliner with an ascot and he's smoking a cigar. And then when it pans back from Daffy Duck, he's wearing a miniskirt and pigtails and trying to seduce the duck into a trap. And the fact that this movie is random is a testament to the spirit of the Looney Tunes and the actual love that these movie makers put into this little 90-minute film. Charles Koplinski with Real Talk with Chuck and Pam says, "Uninspired, repetitious, manically executed mayhem ensues. Its overbearing nature more intent on creating headaches than laughs." God, I hope these people don't have kids of their own. Speaking of kids, my 11-year-old daughter, she got bored. That's not surprising. We all know girls mature a lot faster than boys. In the meantime, my 10-year-old son is doing Porky Pig impressions at the end of the credits. So I felt a little obliged to teach him how it's done. That's all, folks. Russ Simmons from KKFI-FM, Kansas City, says, "It's noisy, frenetic, and plays like it was written by a 7-year-old who drank way too many Mountain Dews." As opposed to what? The corporate suits you want gathered around an oak table writing a script for this? No, you want the people to be doped up on weed or Mountain Dew or whatever it is. That's what it takes. Right? The 60s, the 70s, man. The Looney Tunes. That's how the Looney Tunes thrived. So you've got to have that wild, free spirit, intoxicated mind in order to make a movie like this. Josh Bell from The Inlander, Spokane, Washington, says, "A mostly forgettable outing for a few classic Looney Tunes characters that struggles to justify its existence as a feature film." Well, let me tell you, this movie is important, and it's playing a big part in the culture war that's going on right now. And if you stick around to the next video, I'll tell you how you can play a part in it. But before we go, let's head on over to the most honest reviews. I've got 3 of them this time. First one is Nicolas Delgadio from Discussing Film. He says, for new and old fans alike, The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie, is a pure labor of love that shows a deep respect for these timeless characters. William Bibbiani from The Wrap says, it's the prettiest animated movie Warner Brothers has released since, well, speaking of, The Iron Giant, which would make for a formidable double feature. And then Jake Cole from Slant Magazine says, the film's open affection for the Looney Tunes franchise has a restorative quality. That's all, folks. Check out the next video where I'll be discussing the importance of this film. 1 minute, Bugs Bunny has his ass planted in a recliner smoking... 1 minute, Bugs Bunny has his ass planted in a recliner... 1 minute, Bugs Bunny has his ass planted in a recliner with an ascot around his mouth...